Why, imagine this, my friend, a single spark flickering in the vast darkness of your soul, not because the world has handed you light, but because you've chosen to strike the match yourself when every shadow whispered surrender. Feel that warmth now spreading through your chest. Slow at first, like dawn creeping over a mountain range you once thought impossible to climb. Yet here you are, breathing, alive. With every heartbeat, a quiet rebellion against the gravity of doubt that tried to pin you to the earth. You've reached that sacred turning point, where the weight of hardship no longer crushes, but refines, where the steeper the path becomes, the sweeter the smile that curls upon your lips. For you understand deep in the marrow of your being that difficulty is no cruel master but a divine sculptor, chiseling away the excess, the fear, the mediocrity, until what remains is the unbreakable core of who you were always meant to be. Picture those moments when the storm raged fiercest, when lesser souls sought shelter and comfort, and you stood tall in the rain, arms outstretched, letting every drop baptize your resolve, knowing that the fewer who dare to walk this fire-forged road, the greater the glory waiting at its end. This is not suffering, beloved. This is selection. A holy filtering where the committed rise like eagles above the chickens scratching in the dirt, where every obstacle is a gatekeeper testing the fire in your spirit. And you, oh you, have learned to greet it not with complaint but with gratitude. For each barrier crossed is a testament etched into the eternal ledger of your becoming. Nothing of true worth will ever be gifted without the sweat of your brow, the ache in your muscles, the nights when sleep evaded you because your dreams burned too brightly to be ignored. Strength is not inherited. Success is not luck's fleeting kiss. Freedom is not a handout. Respect is not begged. It is all forged in the silent crucible of relentless effort, brick by brick, choice by choice, when the world turns its back and the mirrors reflect only your own determined eyes staring back. Stop waiting. I implore you from the depths of my heart. Stop scanning the horizon for a savior who will never come. For no knight in shining armor rides to rescue the dreamer from the necessity of building their own castle. The permission you seek is already yours, granted the moment you drew breath into these lungs, and now, in this sacred now, you must be selfish with the fire God placed within you, unapologetically hoarding your time like a miser guards gold, pouring every ounce of your being into the altar of your growth. Mental fortitude like steel tempered in adversity, physical vitality that pulses with the rhythm of a warrior's heart, financial foundations laid so deep that no earthquake of circumstance can shake them. Put on your own oxygen mask first. Breathe deep the pure air of self-mastery, for only then can you lift others without drowning in their storms. Protect your peace as fiercely as a lion guards its pride. Sharpen your skills until they gleam like a blade drawn at dawn, and let ambition consume you like a wildfire that refuses to be quenched by the rains of doubt or the winds of criticism. Apologize no more for hungering after the fullness of your potential. Cease shrinking to fit into rooms built by small minds with smaller visions. For your years are finite, precious grains of sand slipping through the hourglass, and to waste them placating those who never stepped into the arena is to betray the very purpose etched upon your soul. Go all in, my warrior, not tomorrow, not when conditions align like stars in perfect constellation, but now, with the ferocity of a soul set ablaze. For there are no shortcuts carved into the mountain of greatness, no elevator ascending to the summit, only the stairs, steep and unforgiving, shrouded in darkness that would swallow the faint-hearted. Yet, it is upon these very stairs that your true self is born. You will stumble, yes, your knees will buckle under the weight, your lungs will scream for respite. Tears will carve rivers down your cheeks, but do not quit. Do not dare surrender the sacred ground you've claimed, for every fall is a lesson whispered by the universe. Every scar a badge of honor, worn by those who love the process more than the prize. The harder choice and the right choice are woven from the same thread. And easy is the siren song of those who have already laid down their swords. Remember, the homework of your youth was never confined to paper. It was discipline, etched into the fabric of your days, showing up when the flesh begged for slumber, outworking every voice that claimed desire without sacrifice. Obsession, not fleeting motivation, is the wiring of champions, a current that flows unbroken through their veins, aligning every breath, every decision, every solitary step, with a mission that burns brighter than the sun. There are those who train to win, and those who train until defeat is impossible. And you, my friend, must become the latter, diving headlong into the deep waters of commitment where half measures drown and only the fully submerged emerge transformed. Admit when you cannot, but never utter "I can't" as a shield for "I won't." For that phrase is the anthem of the defeated, a white flag waved before the battle has truly begun. Go all in, pour your essence into the crucible. And even if the world denies you the crown, you will rise with peace in your heart, knowing you left nothing on the table, no regret to haunt the quiet hours. But when you succeed, and oh how you will, for destiny bows to the obsessed, you will taste purpose so pure it rivals the nectar of the gods, an unshakable knowing that you were sculpted for this very mountain. Right now, your family scans the horizon for their anchor, their unbreakable pillar amid the chaos, and you must ensure that when their eyes search, they find you, steady, unyielding. A man who carries the weight of worlds upon shoulders, forged in solitude. The heaviest burdens are not iron, but indecision. Those unspoken choices festering like wounds. So make the decision, swift and sure, even when it cuts. Especially when it cuts, for peace flows from action, not paralysis. I have pulled strength from the ether, dopamine distilled from the quiet victories no one witnessed. Years spent in the shadows training alone, until the fire within needed no external spark. And now, when adversity knocks, I ignite instantly, a beacon for those still lost in the dark. The world cheers only after the summit is claimed. But in the climb, in the bleeding, in the misunderstood middle where old friends fade and new horizons remain out of reach, you must become your own applause. A single clap echoing in an empty arena that one day will resound with the roar of multitudes. Embrace the loneliness, for it is the forge of the exceptional. Proof that you have outgrown the crowd and stepped into the rarefied air where legends breathe. You are not early, you are perilously late. 30 years already surrendered to hesitation's embrace, so wait now, hunger now. Focus with the precision of a predator, for no one will save you but the version of yourself willing to fight. Confidence is not arrogance, but clarity. Evidence of battles won in silence, and life demands trade-offs. Pour into one dream and another may wither. But that is the price of magnitude, the cost of refusing the mediocrity of wanting everything yet sacrificing nothing. When the hurricane descends, be the one jogging through the tempest while others cower. For that is the mark of the unstoppable. We wage no external wars but spiritual sieges within, dodging accountability in a world of comfort. Yet you must rise above the "I can't" that crawls like poison, replacing it with the thunder of "I will," driven not by outcomes but by the sacred identity of the doer. Change expectation into appreciation. For every setback is a disguised tutor, every failure a forge reshaping your soul. Pick a path and charge with zero retreat, no safety net. For the mind thrives on consequence, and quitting must be eradicated from your vocabulary. Failure is not terminal but transformational. A refiner's fire that makes you interesting, valuable. A storyteller whose scars speak louder than any trophy. Someday is the lie we tell to stay comfortable. So act now, while responsibilities remain light, building brick by brick until your empire stands unassailable. The war is internal, potential versus comfort, discipline versus doubt, and commitment is the blade that severs excuses. Obsession outlives interest, staying when moods flee and applause dies, whispering "keep going" in the solitude where champions are crowned. Generate your own fuel. Clap for your own effort, for the professional shows up broken yet unbroken. Small daily choices compound into cathedrals of character, and why not you? With brains to plan, hands to build, a heart to believe. You can erect walls around your loved ones that no siege can breach. Let those who abandoned you regret in silence as your life becomes a monument to what faith and grit can achieve. Every second is a credit or debit, and accumulation forgives no excuse. There is pain that breaks and pain that builds. Choose the latter, the burn of progress over the ache of regret. Own your life with faith in God, in self, in the grind, for second place is surrender. Excuses are illusions, for someone overcame worse and won. Proving effort is the only currency. Your life crumbles not in catastrophe, but in complacency. One skipped day at a time, so cultivate awareness. Outgrow circles that anchor you to averageness, and let the voice demanding more be your higher self, not insecurity. The pain of effort fades, but regret is eternal. So thank the you who refused to quit, for one day the mirror will reflect not what you earned, but who you became. The warrior who turns scars into stars, doubt into dominion, and every fall into flight. Be the proof for those watching in shadows, the light that screams possibility. And when your story echoes through time, let it be because you rose every time you fell, because you wrote your legend in the ink of unrelenting action. Now rise, work, become, for the finish line is a myth. Greatness is the endless pursuit, and you, still in the fight, are already limitless.